Hello, dear lovely students. I, Kailash Kumar sir, welcome you all on this online edu classes of Brilliant Public School. In this video, we are going to continue with our previous topic of Unit 6, Section 2, The Canterville Ghost, written by Oscar Wilde. This is the second part of our video, which include scenes 3, 4 and 5 of our chapter. Let us proceed ahead. First is the scene 3, that is Sir Simon appears at midnight. Sir Simon walks into the library and looks around. So Sir Simon came to know that a new family has entered to this castle. So he looks here and there, everywhere, and inquires about the situation there. Sir Simon speaks. Who do these people think they are? They walk in here like they own the place. Leave their stuff all about. Remove my family's portraits. Place his portrait back on wall and remove my blood stain. And all that just on the first day. So here Sir Simon the ghost was surprised. He was totally shocked to see the condition of the castle there, that everything was misplaced and his portrait was also removed from the wall. But anyhow, he again places the portrait back on wall, and he also speaks about the blood stain which was removed, and he anyhow tries to create the blood stain again. He takes some of Virginia's paints and falls to his knees. Sir Simon says, I have kept this blood stain here for 300 years, 11 months and 15 days now, and I am not about to let a few Americans ruin my reputation. Yes, I must evict these people. I will send them scurrying back to America. Evict means expel someone from a property. Here, Sir Simon the ghost says that he will expel these Americans, the Otis family, from his property, the castle, and he will send them scurrying back. Scurrying means moving hurriedly with short, quick steps. So he is telling that he will scare them away and they will move hurriedly with short, quick steps back to America. So here in this scene, we can see that Sir Simon the ghost is keeping back the portrait on the wall, and he is recreating the blood stain marks on the rug on the floor there by using the paints of Virginia which was kept on the table. Now let's see. Here Sir Simon lets out a terrifying moan and disappears from the library. Next is scene 4. The blood stain reappears. When the family came to know the next morning, when the blood stain was again visible there on floor, let's see what happens. Library is empty. Lewis and Clark enter there. Lewis says, look, the blood stain is back. The ghost must have been there. Means the ghost must have been here at night when they were not in the library. Clark says, let's camp out here tonight and wait for him. So these two mischievous twins, they are having a plan to catch the ghost tonight. So Clark gives a suggestion that they will camp here tonight and wait for him. Lois says, we can sleep under the desk there. Clark, no, we need to corner him. Otherwise, he will be able to escape. You sleep by the door. So these are the tricks these both twins are trying to plan tonight to catch the ghost, Sir Simon. Lewis says, he will step on me. Clark says, and I will sleep on top of the desk so I can jump on top of him. Let's go get our pillows. So these two funny, mischievous boys, twins, have planned everything to catch the ghost that night. Lewis and Clark exit. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Otis enter to the library. They are shocked to see the condition of the library and the bloodstain marks again on floor. Mrs. Otis says, "Oh, look at this mess." Motions to papers on ground. Lewis and Clark must have been here. So these people, Mr. and Mrs. Otis, they have a suspect, they have a doubt on their kids, the twins, that Lewis and Clark must have been here and they have done this all mess here. They have created this mess there. Lewis and Clark enter with pillows there in the library. Mrs. Otis asks, "What on earth are you doing with your pillows here?" Clark says, "We are going to catch the ghost tonight." Lewis says, "See, he was here last night. The blood stain is back." Mrs. Otis says, "How horrid. He must have spread the papers on the ground too." Mr. Otis says, "Dear, I assure you there is no such thing as a ghost. There is obviously a draft somewhere in this room." Draft means a flow of cool air in a room. Maybe from the window or any door might be unlocked. So Mr. Otis is assuming and giving them assurance that there is no such thing like a ghost here in this castle. This papers might have spread here on floor due to a flow of cool air from a draft somewhere in this room. Mrs. Otis said, "And the bloodstain?" And she asked that, "Okay, I agree with your point, but how come this bloodstain reappeared here? It was cleaned by Washington yesterday when they came to the castle there." Now the twins put their pillows on top of table and exit from the room. Mr. Otis says, "Of course, it's the cat. It must have killed a mouse last night." So they are predicting that how that blood stain reappeared there. So Mr. Otis said that the cat might have killed a mouse last night there. So it might be, the blood stain might be of rat or mouse. Mrs. Otis says, "James, wake up, clean this blood up immediately." James enters to the scene in the library there. James says, "Sorry, madam, I can't do that. Sir Simon won't let me do." Washington enters there. Washington says, "Good morning, everybody. Oh, look, the blood stain is back. I guess James was right about the ghost. Well, Pinkertons won't let him win." And James scrubs the floor there and he tries to clean the blood stain marks again. Virginia enters and sits at desk and takes paints out of box. Here in this scene we can see that Virginia is taking the paints out from her box. Virginia says, "Odd, I wonder where I put my brick red paint. It's not here anymore." So Virginia is shocked to see that her brick red paint was not there in the box of the colors. Mrs. Otis says, "Look, the portrait of that horrid murderer is back on my wall." James screams, "Ah, what?" James faints, drops coffee cups. So again the same condition here. James, he again got unconscious when he saw that the portrait of Sir Simon was back on wall. So he was unconscious there and he falls on the floor. He also drops the coffee cups. Washington says, "Oh dear, James seems to have fainted again." After some time, James got to his senses and he gets up there. James, "Sorry about that, madam." Washington says, "I must write a letter to the Journal of Paranormal Phenomena." Journal is a kind of or a type of newspaper or magazine or a periodical. Paranormal means things that cannot be explained by science or reason and seem to involve mysterious forces or unknown magical forces. Phenomena means events in nature or society, especially ones that are not fully understood. So Washington says that I must write a letter, I must uh, write something to the journal of the paranormal phenomena. James says, so you admit the ghost exists? So here uh, James asks to Washington whether after this incident, if he admits that really ghost exists. Let us see next what happens. Washington, well, I suppose that, and Washington was interrupted by Mr. Otis. No, no, Washington is a regular contributor and he writes a letter every month. So Mr. Otis is giving a clarification that he writes the letter every month to that journal of paranormal phenomena. So there is nothing new in this. It doesn't mean that he believes that really ghost exists. Mrs. Otis says, James, please start preparing breakfast. So James exits from the scene to prepare breakfast. Mr. Otis says, Washington, why are the twins' pillows on the table? Washington says, they want to see the ghost when he comes to replenish the blood stain. Replenish means to fill up again or to restore. So Washington is giving a clarification about the two pillows, that these two pillows are kept by the twins Clark and Lois, that they have planned to see the ghost when the ghost will come back again tonight to recreate or restore the bloodstain marks on floor. Mr. Otis says, look, Washington, there really is no such thing as a ghost. I wish you would stop spreading rumors. Rumors means unknown facts which are not really true. So Mr. Otis warns Washington that there is no such real thing about ghost or the presence of ghost there that is there in their castle, as they are the citizens of modern society, so they should not believe on such type of rumors, and Washington should also not entertain such kind of things there. Everybody exits from the library. Next is the scene 5, the first haunting. Right, students? So here let's see what's happened in this scene when Sir Simon the ghost comes there in the library that night. The twins run on stage with pillows. So as planned earlier, the twins Clark and Lois, they have decided to sleep on floor there in the library to catch Sir Simon the ghost that night. Lois says, it's almost 11 o'clock. Hurry up. Clark says, I have got my pea shooter loaded. Students, pea shooter, as you can see in one of the hands of these twins, hollow pipe there. A pea shooter is a toy weapon consisting of a small tube out of which dried peas are blown, just like a small or shotgun or catapult, we can say. So they have well planned there to catch the ghost Sir Simon that night. Lois says, all right, I have got the bottle of water to throw at him. I'll jump at him, you fire. So this was the plan. They decided to catch the ghost Sir Simon that night. Here in this scene we can see that Sir Simon is there in the library, and in another corner these two boys, these twins Clark and Lois, are sleeping. Twins settle down on floor and fall asleep. Sir Simon is dressed up in chains, making lots of noise. He enters library where twins are sleeping on the floor. He takes another of Virginia's paints and recreates the blood stain. The twins never wake up. Sir Simon then edges down the hall, making a horrible racket and moaning. Mr. Otis enters through the bedroom door. So here another incident happens, that after listening or after hearing to the sound of Sir Simon and his chains, Mr. Otis enters there through the bedroom door. Mr. Otis says, "My dear sir, I really must insist that you oil those chains. It is quite impossible for us to sleep with such an awful racket going on here. Therefore, I have brought you a bottle of Tammany Rising Sun lubricator for that purpose." Hands bottle to Sir Simon. "I am happy to supply you with more, should you need it." Lubricate means to apply oil or grease. So Mr. Otis, he comes there to library, and he talks to Sir Simon, and he insists him that he must apply lubricator or oil to those chains so that the harsh sound or the unpleasant sound which was produced with that chains, it can be avoided, because they were unable to sleep because of the sounds. So by this incident, Sir Simon got annoyed. He was too much angry by hearing this. But anyhow, when Mr. Otis went back to his bedroom, Mr. Otis exits to the door. Sir Simon takes bottle and throws it to floor. So Sir Simon threw that bottle of that lubricator on floor, and he also exits from that place. Sir Simon shouting, "Who do these barbarians?" Barbarians means an uncultured, uncivilized or brutish person. So according to Sir Simon, these people were uncultured, uncivilized people. So he's telling by shouting that, "Who do these barbarians think they are? It is my right to moan and haunt and make horrible noises. Why, I have haunted these halls for more than..." So he is speaking to himself that it is his right to produce such horrible, awful sound and scare these people. And this man, Mr. Otis, this uncultured, uncivilized man is here to teach me what to do and what not to do. The same moment, twins jump up from library with their pillows. Lewis and Clark. "Ha! Got you." So these two mischievous twins are so much excited to catch this ghost, Sir Simon. They throw pillows at him. Sir Simon lets out a scream and has no respect for art, education, etc., and runs off stage. Twins follow him off. Right, students? So this is the funny, unexpected incident which happened here, that instead of getting scared from this ghost, these two twins, and not only these two but the other family members, are also not at all scared with this ghost, Sir Simon. Instead, they are driving him out of the library, that place. And so this was all about the second part, students. I hope you all enjoyed this second part, and the remaining part will continue in the third video. So thank you all.